my name is Janessa. I'm the co-CEO of Simply Eloped, and I'm here for your tip of the week. So excited to talk about this topic. Today we are talking about something very timely, which are virtual ceremonies. So I'll be talking about how to make your virtual ceremony as awesome as possible. I've got 8 primary tips and then a couple of fringe tips just to make it a little bit crispier, a little bit better. So let's start with number 1. Choose your platform. My number 1 platform that I recommend is Zoom. The reason I love Zoom is because it's really high quality, super easy to use. You can send a link to anybody, up to 100 people can participate, and they make it really, really easy to record. And you should record it, it's a big day. Facebook Live is a good one. It's easy to broadcast to all of your friends and family, and they can pretty easily access that video. Instagram Live is another example, or Skype. Skype is my least favorite. I don't know many people that have Skype accounts these days, so that just might be difficult in terms of inviting guests. Tip number 2, choose a time and a date. So whether you're wanting to do it tomorrow or a week from now, if you are wanting to invite guests, it is nice to give them a heads up so that they can prepare. So definitely choose a time and a date that perhaps are special to you, or maybe you're a night person, a day person, whatever time fits your relationship, but choose a date and a time. Tip number 3, create your guest list. Whether you're wanting no guests or 100 guests, it's great to get together with your honey and figure out who you would like to have participant in your big day. One nice feature about the Zoom video platform is that you can mute all, so if you want your guests to pipe in, they can. If you want them muted, you can also choose that. So be sure to let your guests know, give them advance notice, invite them via Evite, Facebook group, Facebook event, text, like group text messages, WhatsApp. There's so many ways to let your guests know that this is happening, but after choosing the date and the time and the video platform, it's great to just give them all the details that you're able to. Tip number 4, book your officiant. Whether you're having a friend perform or actually certified officiant, book your officiant, make sure they're available on your date and time, make sure that you've reserved them with a deposit or just a heads up, however your officiant works. Get their Venmo, be sure to tip them, but mostly just make sure that you're on their books so that they can prepare for the date, the time, download the video platform. Just make sure you arrange with your officiant. Customize your ceremony. Work with your officiant to create a ceremony script, a ceremony structure. Do your best to have that officiant incorporate some elements of your personal story of how you met, how you fell in love, how you came together, why your relationship is special. A certified officiant will do a really, really great job creating the arc of a script, the arc of a ceremony, which should, in general, last about 15 minutes. Number 6, create the filming atmosphere. Whether you're going to do it inside or outside, there's some pretty key things to keep in consideration. The first thing to keep in consideration is lighting. You want your guests to be able to see you, and generally indoors is going to be pretty dark. So whether you have a lot of lamps or a spotlight, or whether you're going outside during the sunshine, just make sure that you have proper lighting. Make sure you have a stand for your telephone or your laptop. That way it is eye level with you so that your guests can see at a reasonable height. If you have a microphone, I highly recommend that, whether it's attached to your PC or like a standalone mic. That's just gonna really help your guests hear what is taking place. Positioning is going to be really important. Your camera or phone will only capture a certain radius, and both you and your honey want to be in the picture. So just make sure you're practicing your positioning so that both of you are in the screen. Lastly, I highly suggest that whatever video platform you're using, that you test your audio. That way, if you are using a mic and you're plugging that in as like a third-party mic, just make sure it's working. Also, just make sure that audio is working in general. It would be a shame to have this whole thing broadcast and no one can hear it. Tip number 7, I definitely recommend a tech dry run prior to your ceremony. Get the software uploaded, do your audio test, get your positioning, get your lighting, get everything together, and I recommend doing that dry run with your officiant. It doesn't have to be the full ceremony. You don't want to take away from the magic and the specialness of your actual ceremony, but you definitely want to make sure prior to bringing your guests into the Zoom room or the Facebook broadcast that you've got all your ducks in a row. My last final tip is during the ceremony, just make sure you're speaking loudly and clearly so that your guests can participate in this super special moment and hear everything that you're saying. Got a couple of fringe tips. So first one, if you are a woman and you're wanting to do your hair and makeup for your ceremony, I recommend that you actually look up video tips like on YouTube on how to do your hair and makeup for TV. Some styles of makeup aren't gonna read great on your phone or on your laptop video camera. And so I highly recommend that if you're doing your hair and makeup, look up tips on how to make it look really, really good for video. Ways to make your guests feel involved, I think that adds a little bit of specialness to it. So whether you're shipping them party favors or a spliff bottle of champagne so that they can crack it open once you guys say I do, there's just some really fun ways to make your guests feel involved, and I feel like sending them something in advance that everybody has and can participate in is just really, really fun. Theme? Are you going to do a theme for your guests? Do you want them to go, you know, white tie, black tie? Are you wanting them to wear cat ears, Space War theme, Space War, Star Wars? I think that's where I'm going with that. Anyways, you get the point. A theme can be a really, really fun way to involve your guests and make them feel like it's a little more fun for them on their end. I highly recommend still doing digital bachelor and bachelorette parties. There's actually a lot of articles out there on brides.com and other places where you can figure out how to make a bachelorette or bachelor party a super fun time digitally. So I highly recommend that. You can also do the same thing for a reception. Hire, you know, like invite 100 people to join you in your reception on Zoom. What a blast. I definitely recommend that you put someone in charge of taking snapshots and screenshots so that you're still getting some semblance of photos during your ceremony. And then my last tip is definitely record it. This is a big day, this is a special moment. It's gonna be something that you're gonna wanna remember. And so whether you're using Facebook Live or Zoom, I highly recommend that you record it. Don't forget to subscribe and definitely leave a comment down below about your virtual ceremony or how your wedding was impacted by coronavirus. I would love to hear your stories. All right, thank you.